I want to read to you from the Psalms 62, the 5th through the 12th chapters. This is a psalm of David. David, the shepherd boy. David, the giant killer. David, the warrior who was mighty in battle, a great leader. David, the king, the new king, who had all the things the new king has to do. David, the commander-in-chief. David, the adulterer. David, the abuser of his power. David, whose son wanted to kill him. This David wrote this psalm, for David was a psalmist as well. He says, "For God alone my soul waits in silence, for my hope is from Him. He alone is my rock and my salvation, my fortress. I shall not be shaken. On God rest my deliverance and my honor. My mighty rock, my refuge is in God. Trust in Him at all times, O people. Pour out your heart before Him. God is a refuge for us. Those of low estate are but a breath. Those of high estate are a delusion. In the balances, they go up. They are together lighter than a breath. Put no confidence in extortion, and set no vain hopes on robbery. If riches increase, do not set your heart on them. Once God has spoken, twice I have heard this, that power belongs to God, and steadfast love belongs to you, O Lord, for you repay to all according to their work." The word of the Scripture, the word of the psalmist, the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. I tried to figure out what David was saying here in this psalm, and I began to reflect on it, and I had to make a list of some things, and the list was so long that I had to write it down, and I'm going to share this list with you and ask if you can see something of yourself in this list. I felt left out. I was the only one that seemed to be trying. I was so embarrassed, I just wanted to hide. The job was overwhelming, and I lost 15 pounds. I have no idea what to do next. My children have no use for me. I am sitting on top of the world. Something's bound to happen. I am up the creek without a paddle. Somebody needs to help me with this. I wonder what is going to happen next. One more thing, and I just think I want to die. You couldn't have hurt me any more. I didn't mean to hurt you so bad. I am truly, truly sorry. I am furious. Why don't you quit that? I'm scared. I just need to settle down. If it were not for the credit, we wouldn't be eating. If it wasn't for parents, some bills wouldn't have been paid. Thank God our friends came through. I feel desperate. I am really, really worried. This job stinks. I just want to run away and hide. At least I can go home. Someone loves me there. I feel like I'm sinking. There's no hope that I can see. Seems like I can't count on anything. I don't even know what's right anymore. For God alone, my soul waits in silence. For God is my hope. Well, for God alone. Alone sounds pretty good here. That sounds like the right and religious thing to say. After all, we know that you shall have no other gods before me. That's one of the commandments. God alone. Sometimes being alone is really, really good. Michael Phelps was all alone on that podium, all alone in history. He was on top of the world. He alone. That's a pretty good thing. When she says to you, you alone are the love of my life. That's a pretty good thing. Sometimes being alone is okay, but sometimes being alone is lonely. Sometimes being alone is scary. Sometimes we don't want to be alone. Sometimes we want option B, plan B. Sometimes we want to hedge our bets. Sometimes being alone is not the thing we want to have in our lives. And I wonder sometimes if we really feel like, maybe God won't come through. Maybe being a God alone is not enough. I know that there are voices within inside me. It says, wait on the Lord silently. Wait on Him silently in silence, O soul. I've got some noises going on in my life that kind of say, well, don't do that. Don't do that. Those noises are the noises of my physical existence, which I was always seeking more and more. It seems like it just can't satisfy it. You got to have this and you got to have that. You got to take care of this and that. It seems like God alone sometimes isn't enough. We just have to take care of some business, Then my emotional state, it needs some stroking, some positive influence, and sometimes it doesn't come, it seems like, from God. I need to reach out to somebody who likes me and just tell me that they love me. Thank God somebody loves me and can say that every now and then. My mental condition is that I want to be in charge of everything. I want to be on top of things. I don't want to be discombobulated. Is that a good word? You understand that word? I want to be in charge and everything be under control in my life. You understand? Because that being out of control and waiting, my soul waiting, that's tough business. And yet, that's how it is. The psalmist says, for God alone, my soul waits. For God alone. Now, that list that I shared with you just a moment ago, that's a list. That's my personal list.